All right. So I'll face the camera for the first couple minutes. Make sure that that's recording. Yep, sure is. Okay. So in mountain pose, I hope that video is enough light. You can either have the big toes touching, or you can take the feet out a little bit, but we do want to try to think of the edges of our feet lining up with the edges of the mat. Shift your weight through the balls of the foot, feet, heels, a couple times, and then find that spot where everything, every part of your foot, except for your arches, are touching, right? So it would be that footprint that we make with wet feet, that is all touching, and that whole foot needs to bear your weight. So make sure that you're feeling that. Lift up your toes, place them back down. We tend to get, when we're challenged in a movement, or it could even just be a mental thing that we start to get stressed, we tend to put tension into the hands and the feet. We kind of grab onto that mat. We're thinking like, oh, I don't want to fall. But I really want you to try to keep those toes relaxed, somewhat spread out, if that makes sense, so not tight together. Standing tall, I want to feel as if there's a little ribbon just pulling you up as tall as possible. That ribbon, like a plumb line, is going to go right through the center of your body, all the way down to equidistant between the feet. Shoulders are going to come up and back. Do that a couple times. So see how far up you can pull at your shoulders. Roll them back and down. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, roll back. Good. One more. So you kind of feel that chest widen. Feel the shoulder blades press together a little bit. We're not holding them there, but we are contracting that upper back. Now, if you can close your eyes while we're doing a little bit of breathing, do that. But if it really throws you off, just take your gaze down. You don't need to see me right now. But we're just going to start to slow down the breathing with the inhale, exhale through the nose. Not thinking about the length of it yet. Trying to keep this perfect mountain pose posture. Same thing. Inhale. And exhale. And I find that I feel very different when I'm standing up and working on breathing than when I'm laying down. When I'm laying down, I can much more easily get into that full belly breath a lot quicker. So when I'm standing, I'm thinking about a lot of other things, balance and posture. So do allow yourself, once that's starting to feel more comfortable, to start taking this breath deeper. Just like when we are on our backs, we want to feel those ribs fill out. And remember, our lungs go all the way to the back. So as those lungs fill up with air, they're pressing forward, but they're also expanding you through the sides and into the back. So try to engage fully through that trunk. And then, as we continue, we're going to try to get the belly involved in that breathing. All the while, trying to remain focused in our mountain pose and focusing on those exhalations to, pull my hair back. Those exhalations is when we're letting go of any tension without changing our posture. Maybe letting it become a little softer, but making sure that on those exhalations that you're releasing that tension, and that includes our mind too. Let go of whatever maybe you were dealing with this morning, or what's going to happen after you're done with your practice today. But right now, in this moment, we want to try to really just focus on getting the breathing going, having the movements match the breath, seeing how our body's feeling today. So there's a lot happening here before we even start moving at all. All right, so hopefully you've been working on that breath the whole time I've been talking. You're starting to feel that it's a little more natural now. The Ujjayi breathing, we don't talk about too much, but it's another component that you can add into your breath work. Kind of bringing the tongue up to the back of the roof of the mouth, and it creates that little whispery noise. Some people, it really helps them to focus on the breathing. For some, it's more of a distraction. So think about what's going to work for you. We're going to do 3 more breaths here in mountain pose, and then we're going to start a little bit of movement. Still feeling that belly expand outward. All right, taking another breath in here. On this exhalation, just allow that chin to drop toward the chest. And then if we inhale, we're going to lift to center, and you can lift the chin a little bit, but keep the back of the neck long. And then exhaling again, dropping that chin, nothing else changing here. Inhaling, lift the chin just slightly. Again, eyes can be open or closed, whatever's working better right now. All right, we're going to exhale and bring the chin forward, and we're going to slowly roll down to a forward bend. Now, I'm going to relax my knees. I'm going to reach my hands down. See where you can get, this is where having those blocks handy is going to really help you. So if you do struggle getting your hand to the floor, you've got the blocks here. Hang in that forward bend for a moment. You're just going to see me from the back. So even if you're supporting yourself on your hands, try to allow the rest of the body to completely relax and let gravity pull that upper body weight down toward the mat. All right, tighten up the belly and then start to inhale and roll it back up. And make your way back up to mountain pose. When we're in mountain pose, we'll take a full breath in here. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to back up to my wall, and it's just to show you something. So when we are doing these roll downs, it's almost as if you had your back against the wall. So as you roll down, I don't want your back and hips moving behind you. I want you to feel as if your back was against the wall, and as you roll down, each little part of the back is coming off of the wall, coming more forward. So if you have a wall, you can even try that. Have to give yourself a little bit of room for the back side, but we're going to take that breath in. Now as I exhale, I'm going to tuck my chin, and as I roll down, I'm just going to feel each part of my back coming away from the wall, but my hips cannot move further back here. And I come into that forward bend. If you want to easily bend the knees just a little bit while you're here, keep your heels down. Maybe do that again. As you prepare to come up, knees are soft, tighten up the belly, roll up. Definitely more of a challenge or different feeling when you have that wall behind you. If you don't need it, that's fine, but really focus on keeping your back moving down one piece at a time, and just not that whole, the hips moving right behind you. We're going to do one more roll down. So inhale here, exhale, chin tuck and rolling into that forward bend. Again, a little bit of a knee bend here. As my knees bend, don't let them come together. Keep each one over the foot below. And then tighten up that belly and inch by inch roll it back up. Make your way back to your mountain pose. All right, we're going to take a breath in. Bring the chin forward. Now, from here, I'm just going to slowly inhale and bring my chin up to the right shoulder. And then as I exhale, I go center. Inhale up to my left. And exhale down. So work at your own pace on this, side to side. Nothing changing here, but keeping the chin on the chest and just drawing that little half circle, or if you want to think of it in quarter circles, either way. But use the breathing to maximize it. So inhale, lifting. Exhale, drop it down. One more time each side. Keep going with that. All right, and then come back to center and back to mountain pose. Now let's bring those arms into it. Inhale, bring the arms out and up, just right overhead to start. Exhale, use that full breath to bring those arms back alongside you. And inhale again, feeling maybe even a little taller here. Exhale, open. And let's go one more time. Inhale, bring the arms up. Now this time, We're going to bring our hands through to the heart and exhale, and we're going to fold down. Now, if you need to tuck and roll, feel free to do that. I'm going to extend my back, keeping my heart forward as long as possible, and then come into that forward bend. Now, inhale, lift halfway. We're going to extend the back, straighten that spine, pull the shoulders back. Exhale, back to that forward bend. Inhale, rolling up, or you can take those arms out and up, long extended back. Hands back to the heart and back to mountain pose. So we're going to do that one more time, and we're going to make our way back down or onto the mat for the first time today. So I'm going to move over to here, and so you will be able to see as we get further into this. So I'm going to take those arms up, inhale. Again, option to roll down or hands through to the heart, long back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway, extend that back. As you extend the back, pull the shoulders away so we don't have any roundness happening across the shoulders or through the spine. Option to extend those arms back as you inhale. Exhale, forward bend. Place the hand on the mat and just step back into or onto all fours. We're going to start out with the toes tucked under, or the tops of the feet on the mat. Unless your feet are cramping, then just lightly tuck those toes under. Place the hands under the shoulders, spread the fingers out. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, right away into cat pose today. So pull that belly in as you arch and allow the head to drop down. Inhale, lengthen to straight, and then lift a little bit, chest and tailbone easing into cow pose. And exhale, nice and tight through the center, arching up. And inhale, lengthening and lifting here. And exhale, arching up. And inhale, lengthen and lift that heart, lift that tailbone in the back. Let's do two more. Inhale. Exhale into child's pose. I want you to ease your hips back, open the knees, bring the arms in, do whatever you want. We always talk about this child's pose. Really, it's just an opportunity to get into a resting pose. So whatever you want to call it. If you need to at any point during what we're doing, that's where you want to go. Just hang out. Make sure that your child's pose, even if it might look different from others that you've seen, allows you to rest. You don't want to be like, kind of in a position, you're like, well, this is where I should be, but I don't like it. It hurts my hip or my shoulder or whatever. That's not a good resting pose for you. So we know to adjust it accordingly. Now I'm going to walk, or I'm going to come back up to my hands and knees. I'm going to do a little bit of that opposite arm and leg lift. So we're just going to start right off today with lifting them at the same time, unless, of course, you need to start slowly, bring the leg up, add the arm when you're ready. But if you're ready, you're going to take that right leg, left arm up as we inhale, and then lower as we exhale. And we go right to the other arm and leg, inhale. So work at your own pace, and don't worry if you're not on the same arm and leg as I am. See how much you can extend through the fingertips and heel each time, all the while minimizing any kind of movement through the torso or through the hips. Really just working on that limb extension. And again, we'll do, a couple more on your own, at your own pace. Make sure you do both sides evenly. And then inhaling here and exhaling into child's pose. I'm going to give you 1 second to rest there. I need to dash out, grab something. I will be right back. Hang out in your child's pose. All right, I'm back. So we're in child's pose. We're getting ready to go into our first downward dog. And we're just going to start without the arms all the way forward. Just kind of bring the arms slightly, let the elbows relax. We're going to go into a short downward dog. So bring the toes under Lift those hips, lift that tailbone, and really press back away from those hands. Lengthen through the arms and shoulders. If you're able to straighten those legs right away, feel free to do that. Your head is hanging down. We're really trying to avoid tensing up that neck. The neck muscles, they go up into the back of the head. And then knees down. Exhale into child's pose. So if that short downward dog works better for you, especially at the beginning, feel free to stick with it. It doesn't work as well in a flow, but again, adjust it if you need to, if you find that it works better. We're going to come to downward dog a second time now. And we're going to really start to press out of the hands, lengthening not just the arms, but I want you to start to feel that you're lengthening the sides of your torso, right? So as the tailbone goes up, it's like someone comes from behind you and pulls those hips back. Slow down that breathing. All right, we're going to go into a real slow flow here. So when you're ready, you're going to come into a plank or a modified plank as you inhale. I'm still working with a modified plank at this point. Lift the heart. Exhale, allow yourself to, as slowly as you can, to make your way down to the mat. Hands stay here. Inhale, cobra. Lift the heart. Pull those shoulders toward each other behind you. Exhale back, all the way down. And then just push yourself up. Come back into your child's pose. Take 3 breaths while you're there. All right, back to downward dog. One more full breath. Inhale, plank or modified plank. I'm going to try to see if I can make it all the way down without dropping the knees. Exhale, lower. Not quite there. Inhale, cobra. Before you just lift your forehead up, think of actually sliding forward and lifting. Really think of that cobra, how it does actually lift up. Exhale, back to child's pose. All right, now we're going to do that one more time. This time when we get into that downward dog, we're just going to add a little bit. Again, always an option, right? Stay in your downward dog without the option if you like. Right foot comes off the mat. I don't just lift it up relaxed. I push energy into the heel. Slowly lift that leg up. Bring the foot back down. Fully lengthen that downward dog again. Then left foot up, same thing. Push out of that left heel. Slowly lifting up. Back to full downward dog. Go through your flow again one more time. Now we're going to go back to our downward dog and we're going to walk it back to the front of our mat. So I've got to take a lot of little steps at this point. Make your way back however you can. Come into that forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway, extend the back. Exhale, forward bend and roll or come all the way back up, back to mountain pose. Beautiful. All right. We're going to get back into that again. We're going to start adding out some lunges and our warrior work into the flow today. So rather than just kind of approaching it from the top as we do sometimes, we're going to flow a little bit more. But, you know, if you need to get in and out of those poses at your own way, then feel free to do that too. All right, so here we are. Back to mountain pose. And when you're ready, Inhale, extend up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, extend. Now, let's just practice a little bit, okay? If we've got the hips right over the heel, we've straightened out that back, lifting the heart forward, just like we did in our downward dog. Lift that right leg up, push out of the right heel. See, how does that feel today? Make sure you're not letting the hips shift around. Bring it back down. Now, extend the back again before you bring that left leg up. Same thing. You can have a little bend in that right knee. It doesn't have to be locked out tight. Try to think about that upper body getting a little more level with the extended leg. Bring the foot back down. Exhale, forward bend. Now step back to plank, all the way back. Inhale, exhale here. Inhale again. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. If you want to go a little bit further, you can go into your upward dog. You don't even have to come, go all the way down to the mat. You can go right from downward dog into that upward dog. Here we go. Lift the hips high. Right leg up slowly. Now I'm going to bring my right foot through and come to a lunge. I'm modifying. Again, just listening to my body after surgery, hoping to improve a little bit each week, but still letting myself, giving myself time to heal and get those joints ready for a little bit deeper movement. So start to push the hips forward. Cushion that back knee if it helps you. Bring the arms up. And also keep the hands down anywhere that helps. All right. All right, we're going to bring the hands back down. Step back to downward dog. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get there yet. All right, 3 breaths when you get here. All right, take that left leg up, extend it behind you as an option. And then you're going to bring it through, and hopefully you're just going to step right onto that left foot, placing that right knee behind you. Make your way into that low lunge here. Start to push forward. So now we're getting some nice stretch in front of our right hip. Arms up, shoulders down. Even adding a little light back bend here, lifting right between the shoulder blades if you like. When I take my gaze up, I don't look straight up and pinch my neck. I just kind of lift my eyes up, keep the back of the neck long. All right, hands come back down, come back to your downward dog. 3 breaths here. All right, this time we're going to bring that, again, you can always bring this right leg up if you like that preparation. We're going to bring our right foot through, and as I come up, I'm going to line my back foot up with that right heel, and I'm going to make my way all the way up and open to Warrior 2. So that's a big transition that we don't normally do, and we're just kind of changing it up a little bit today. So as you open to the side of that mat, make sure the chest and the hips, we don't want the hips going that way, we do want them turned. And then you got to really work to press that knee back and keep it aligned over the foot. Arms are here, shoulders relaxed. If you can look over the right fingertips. Hold for 3 breaths here. Now we're going to flip that right hand over. Left hand comes down. Inhale as you make your way into reverse warrior. Try to keep the same bend you had in that right knee. And then back to our Warrior 2. Coming into our side angle pose, feel free to drop lower with a block if you like. Take that left arm up or extend it. Remember, we always want to have a little distance between that shoulder and ear, so we're not going to bring our extended arm right onto the head. And I can see I have a pretty straight line from my left hand down to the outside of my left foot. And back to warrior two. All right, now here's the hard one. We're gonna go from our warrior two to warrior one. So as I turn, I'm gonna shorten the stance a little bit. I'm gonna bring this left foot goes more into the hip width that I had earlier in my mountain pose, and I'm gonna turn everything. So now my hips and chest and shoulders are all facing the front of my mat. Make sure that you're not doing this one like a tightrope. Warrior two is a tightrope, right? If you're looking at it here, warrior one is more like that, right? Okay, so here we are, warrior one, same thing. Now, go ahead and turn the palms forward. Bring those elbows into alignment with the shoulders, cactus arm, and we're just gonna do a little rotation here. Lift the chest up, take the gaze up, put a lot of energy into those cactus arms. And those arms back up. And now we're gonna exhale and drop all the way back down and come back to our downward dog. Now, if that was a lot of work for you, a lot of work for me, I am going to bring my knees down, take a little rest. I'm going to get a drink of water. Feel free to take a little bit of a break here if you need it. We're going to do the whole thing on the left. I'll face the other way in just about a minute. So you're going to have quite a few breath cycles that you can relax into, or if you want to stay in your downward dog, work on anything there, or even go through the easy flow a couple times. Up to you. So now that you know what's coming, if there were any transitions that were a little bit challenging, you can work on those as we get there. I think for the hardest one, or the one that we do least often, was going from downward dog all the way into that warrior two. So think about that. Okay, so if you've had enough of a break, we're going to come into our downward dog. So we already did the right and left lunges with our knees down. We'll come to the high lunge later, but again, we want to kind of think ahead. We're going to bring that left leg up behind us. As I bring that foot through, again, this is much more, a little bit harder for me on the left. I need to bring that left foot more center, and as I come up, go ahead and line up that back arch with that front heel. And then as you do that, turn that whole body. So I have a shorter stance here. I don't have that range of motion yet in my left hip, but when I do feel like I'm in a good position for warrior two, I'm going to reach the arms out. And as I take the arms and I look over that left hand, it's a really good opportunity to just take a look at that knee. Make sure it's not drifting in, but it's staying right in line with that second and third toe. Here we go, arms out, relax, feel that energy flowing from front fingertips to back, and we're gonna look over that left hand. All right, take the left hand palm up. As the arm floats up, we relax this right hand down, but we don't let that left knee start straightening. Curve the body up. Back to our warrior two. And then side angle pose, again, very easy for me to just stay, I don't want to say easy, for me I want to stay at the easiest level. I want to stay just in that very basic side angle pose with my right arm up. Again, make sure that if you cannot extend this arm without the chest starting to roll in, we're just going to take our hand to here and really work on opening that chest as we lean into that left leg, whatever that variation is for you. All right, ease out of that, find your warrior two again. So even though I have the shorter stance here, I'm going to shorten it even more as I slowly turn and make my way to my warrior one. Make sure that you feel like the feet are now railroad tie distance rather than tightrope, right? Arms come up, shoulders come down. Both feet firmly on your mat. Cactus arms, turn those palms forward, elbows in line, little rotation as you take the eyes up. Energy into the hands, squeeze those shoulder blades together, really working all those upper back muscles. Inhale back up, regular warrior one arms. And then from here, making our way all the way back down to a downward facing dog. All right, now 3 breaths here. And then once again, dropping those knees, taking a rest, getting some water if you need it. All right, we're going to make our way back into our downward dog. And then we're going to make our way back to our forward bend. So walk, step, or hop your feet back. Come into your forward bend here. And when you're ready, you can roll it up or come up nice straight back. Bring your hands back to your heart and come back to your mountain pose. Okay, so we're starting back, or we're back in our mountain pose here. Now, we're going to do a couple things before we get back down to the mat. We are going to work on balancing warrior today, or warrior 3, which we practice with bringing that leg up behind us. But we're not going to go there just yet. We're going to use that as a transition to get back down. For now, I want you to start in your mountain pose. Now I want you to just take that left foot up and back, lift the heel, find a good distance for you to work on your lunge here. So this is a balancing lunge or crescent moon lunge. We have our knee off the mat. We have our heel, back heel off the mat. If the wider distance, now this is great for working the stretch of it, but if you're off balance, I prefer that you just keep it in so you can bend this knee a little bit, but you're not going to bend so much that the knee goes beyond the toes, right? So find something that you can balance, tighten up that internal belt. Arms are here. We're going to inhale here. We're going to exhale and twist to the right. So that left arm's going to reach forward, right arm back. Then we're going to inhale back up. And we're going to exhale. We're just going to open to the side. And inhale back up. And rotate right. And inhale back up and hold it right here. And step forward. Find your mountain pose. Roll those shoulders back. I'm just going to stay here. My rotation will be toward the camera. Step that right foot back. Start bending the left knee, finding your balance on this side. It could be a little bit different distance that you're using here, depending on which side you balance on better. Same thing, we're going to bring our arms up. We're going to inhale here. Exhale, twist. I'm going to reach forward. Notice that I'm not leaning forward. I'm really trying to rotate my body as those arms reach front to back. Inhale back up. I'm just going to open to the right one time. Inhale back up. Rotate again toward the left. Try to relax those shoulders. And inhale back up. And step that right foot back. Find your mountain pose. All right, so when we get into that balancing warrior, we've got a couple of options. I recommend that you use your prop. If you want to go to the wall, if that helps you a little bit, there's another option as well. And you never need to take your arms off your props if you don't want to. All right, here we go. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale into your forward bend, all the way over, round it over. Now inhale, extend the back. Get that upper body long and straight. Tighten up the belly. You choose which leg you want to start with. As you bring it up, we do not shift our hips. We do not rotate that leg. we can extend the arms a little bit more. We can take one hand off, other hand off, maybe both. I'm not quite there, but I'm going to keep working, pushing the heel back, pulling the belly as tight as I can, extending my chest forward a little bit, and then exhale and round into that forward bend. 3 breaths here. Maybe grab the elbows, grab behind the ankle or calves to pull yourself in. All right, we're going to start the second side from here. So once again, I want you to start by extending the back forward. You want to feel strong before you even take a foot off the mat. Left leg up. Same thing, I'm going to lift it no higher than hip level. I'm going to try to extend or elevate that upper body at about the same height. I might get there. Take one hand up or the other, whoops, or maybe try both. See if you can maintain that balance. Don't let that foot start turning. And then come into your forward bend. Once again, hanging, using gravity to help you here. Inhale, extend halfway. Exhale, forward bend. Stepping all the way back to our plank again. Inhale in here. And exhale, we're going to lower all the way down. Now, when we're resting, if you want to turn your head to the side, that's fine. But when we start our lift here, we're going to do our locust pose. Make sure that you start with your forehead down. We want to get our spine as long as possible. So bring the forehead down. Stretch that body out. Bring the arms alongside you. When you're lifting, making sure the shoulders pull away from the ears and they pull together in the back so we feel that nice broadening of the chest. So before we even lift up, you want to tighten up that belly, all right? Press your feet down into the mat, and then inhale, forehead up. Think of lifting your heart up, and it's a little light, and it's going to shine forward. I'm going to reach my fingertips back, keep the arms long, keep the neck long, and exhale, come back down. So I recommend that you just alternate which way you turn the head sometimes just to give that neck equal time, stretching both ways. We're going to go 2 more times. First option will be floating the legs up into the pose. And again, if it doesn't work, you just always go back down to the one that you can do. And then that third option is going to be binding the hands behind us. So again, something to think about and try, and then if it doesn't work today, just try it again another time. So when you're ready, forehead down, long body. This is our second one. Tighten up through the middle. Inhale, start floating that upper body up, lengthening. Think about floating those legs up. Once you're here, try to maintain the breathing. However long you want to stay, it's fine. Before you lower, you want to inhale and use that exhale to float back down to the mat. So we'll be doing one more. Again, we're not doing bow pose today. It's certainly an option if that's your thing. You want to try it today. But I'm just going to go ahead and just add the arm bind, the hand bind today. So I'm going to start out by interlacing my fingers behind my back. Even if you can't get the palm to palm, you can do a little bit. You can also grab a little towel or hand towel back, or what do you call it, washcloth, I guess, and kind of use it to keep the hands close together, but you can't quite get them together. So whenever you're ready, once again, tighten up the middle. Inhale, coming up. Any level you choose here. And exhale, and just float back down. Even though we didn't go into bow pose, if you want to bend the knees and roll those legs side to side, go ahead and do that. All right. And then when you push up out of that, make sure the forehead starts on the mat. We're going to push up and back into child's pose. Where are we here? We always run out of time, don't we? Oh, goodness. Okay. Child's pose, I'm going to give you about, I don't know, we'll say anywhere between 5 and 8 breaths. And then I want you to slowly bring yourself out of it. And you're going to come around and just come into a seated position on the mat. And, you know, if you have a little extra back here, most of us do, try to move that aside. You want to feel those little round sitting bones. You want to feel them against the mat, okay? Now, sit up nice and tall. Shoulders back. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale into a forward bend. Just reach forward. Keep the whole upper body moving. Don't let it start rounding over back here. Keep reaching forward. Your heart is always shining toward your toes, if that makes sense, not toward your thighs. Ease into it. Take some time and use the breathing to help you get here. Every inhale, we're going to lengthen. Every exhale, just allow that body weight to move forward a little bit. All right, just ease out of that when you're ready. Let's go ahead and make our way all the way back down to the mat. Since we didn't get to start on our backs today and do a lot of the hip work that we normally do, we'll just do a little bit extra now at the end of class. So if you want to roll down, you can do that, or turn to your side, make your way down whenever you're ready. Once you get all the way down, make sure you're completely on the mat. You're going to have anything nearby that you might want to use at the end for bridge pose or savasana, anything like that. Start out, let's just bring those knees in. We've done a lot today, starting out standing and doing all of those transitions for our warrior work. So let's give the back a little bit of a break right here. Knees in and just kind of rolling. I like to go little circles one way and then the other. All right, let's bring both feet up. Flex and point. Start out doing them together. When you're flexing, I like to also kind of work the toes apart. If you can learn to spread your toes apart. Circle. Both ways. All right, bring the feet to the mat. Now, let's start out. Let's just go up into a bridge pose once, all right? So bring the arms alongside you. Work that, that spine as slowly as you can, inch by inch. You're going to start by kind of, the tailbone is touching, so we're going to kind of lift the tailbone up, and then that lower back's going to press down, and then we start to peel it up. Keep the knees in place. Don't let them move toward each other. Don't let them spread out. Press down with the hands. Press the feet really firmly. Squeeze those glutes as you lift those hips up. Take a breath or two up here. We're going to inhale at the top. Lift the hips just a tiny bit higher if you can. And exhale, lower down, inch by inch. Upper spine starting to come between the shoulder blades. Now we're getting down to the waist, getting to that lower back. And then as the pelvis comes down, you just allow that little curve, little natural curve in the lower back. And we're just going to take a breath or two here. We're going to do it one more time. All right. If you want to join me, go right back up. If you need to take knees into the chest again, do that and start your stretch. Making our way up to bridge pose. Again, really actively pressing down, lifting that chest toward the chin, lifting those hips high, activating every muscle by firmly pressing our hands and our feet into that mat. And then inhale here, And as we exhale, we're going to lower all the way back down. And again, once the hips come all the way down, now we're going to bring those knees back into the chest again and roll a little bit. And we're going to flex and point the feet again. This time I want you to work them opposite. One's going to point as the other flexes. Got to give our brains a little bit of a workout here, right? And same thing. I want you to start circling the feet the same way. And then make them circle the same way, opposite. And then see if you can have one going one way and the other going the other way, just to mix it up a little bit. Feet back down. Easy twisting here. We're going to start with both legs. Then we'll work our way into a single leg. Open the arms out. Starting with the feet parallel, knees apart. Inhale here. Exhale, twist both knees to the right, only as far as you can go as you're taking that exhale. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, twisting left. And inhale, bring it up. Now this time we're going to stay longer. So inhale, exhale, go to the right, and just see if you're able to get that right leg down. Where does that left leg go? Where do you feel? What do you feel stretching here? You can start to opt to do that opposite head turn if you like. And then we're going to inhale up. Exhale, go left, and look to the right. And come back up. From here on out, there'll be a couple of different options, and you just choose the ones that work for you. Next one we're going to do as the next option is feet together, knees together. But when you twist, try to keep those hips and knees stacking, right? We're not going to let them shift at this point. Trying to keep them together. So I'm going to move my feet just slightly to the left since I'm going to the right, and my twist isn't quite as deep right now. So start with a breath in. Exhale, twisting to the right. I do want to get my whole right side down, and I'm going to try to get the hips and knees to stack. And then I'm going to try to open that left arm, that left shoulder, and press it back down if it's not down. 5 breaths now. We're starting to use these twists to work on our flexibility a little bit more. So let's just stay here. Anything that's feeling tight, you really focus the breathing. Think of those tight areas while you're exhaling. Tell your body it's okay to let go of that tension a little bit. And inhale, bring the knees back up. Preparing for the other side, which means I'm walking my feet off center just slightly along with the hips. Exhale, twisting to the left. Keeping the hips and knees together. Keeping that right shoulder down. And inhale, bring the knees back up. All right, we've got one more with both legs. And again, this is where you can start going deeper by taking the feet off the mat. You can cross one knee over the other. Again, what works the best for you. Some people like the same leg over as they go to the same side. Some like the opposite. I'm not going to tell you that anything's wrong, so it's all up to you. I, however, am sticking with my feet on the mat. My twists are still pretty modified at this point. So think about what you want to do for your third one on right and left. And then after that, we will go into the single leg twist. All right, so here we go. Last time, double leg twist. Inhale first. Use the exhale to ease into that right twist. Again, whatever you choose. And if you do one that was a little more challenging and you get there and you're just like, I'm not feeling that one today. It doesn't feel so good. Just come back to something that was working. knees up. Inhale. Prepare for the other side. Whatever you did right, you want to repeat that to the left. All right, and come back onto the back, knees back into the chest. Now, as we get into the single leg twist, we're gonna start with the going to the right again. So that means the right leg goes all the way down. We keep that left knee in. Open that left arm back up. When you're ready, inhale here. Exhale, pulling that left knee across. See where you can go. Now, as we ease onto the back, we are going to add that thread the needle. So bring that left foot across that right knee. I'm finally seeing some improvement here. This one was really tough to get back into after surgery. It doesn't feel good though, but hopefully yours is feeling better. You can always bring that right foot up and enhance, take that stretch deeper into the hips if you like. We'll be here about 5 breaths. All right, come on out of it. Let's switch the other side. So right knee in, extend that left leg down, open the right arm, and then as soon as you're ready, exhale, twist that right knee up and across, press the shoulder down. And then as you ease out of it, same thing, that right foot goes across the left knee, thread the needle, whatever option is gonna feel the best for you. All right, as you come out of that, we're gonna slowly stretch the legs out. Move the feet a little bit, rotate out in it a couple times, and then just kind of relax and let the feet fall where they may. Arms go overhead. Now, as we inhale, I want you to point the toes, stretch the fingertips, feel every muscle in the body lengthening. On the exhale, relax. Keep the arms overhead, but kind of allow that whole body to feel like it got a little heavier into the mat. And then inhale again, lengthen, and exhale, and relax. Focusing a little more on breath now, getting ready to get into Savasana. Let's do one last full body stretch, deep breath, and really lengthen as much as you can. Now as you exhale, let everything relax. Go ahead and move the feet out a little bit. If you want to move to the wall, feel free to do that. Elevate the leg, grab your props, whatever works for you, bolster, blocks, whatever. Even roll to your side if that's going to be working better for you. But once you have found that position, even if you're semi-active, right? Like if you are extending the legs up or you are using a prop, try to focus the breath and give yourself some time to scan through the body. Don't rush through 1 or 2 breaths. You're like, oh yeah, I'm relaxed. No, use every breath to just check in with one little part of your body. If you want to start at the feet, make your way up. If you want to start at the head, make your way down. But I'm going to give you some time to do that. Slow breathing, breath in and out. Ideally, we want about 10% of the class to be our Savasana time. So if our class was 50 minutes, it would be about 5 minutes long. Ours was a little longer than that. Ideally, it would be, we'll say, 6 to 7 minutes of Savasana. Maybe you have time for that today. Maybe you don't. It's up to you. Once you are in that comfortable position, I want you to try to just let yourself go and don't think about time or don't think about anything else that's going to happen today. Really allow your body to rest. See if you can drift off for a minute. Keep your mind open, keep your body calm and relaxed, and just take a little time to rest.